Oh, that felt good right there to sit down for a minute and on my new floor, at least part of it. Get to enjoy it for a second. Okay, and just side note, I am absolutely exhausted right now. Been working hard on the over this weekend on the house here. Well, the reason I'm exhausted isn't because I've been working hard. It's because I'd gotten so out of shape, not doing enough before this. Anyway, this is getting me back in shape now, and it's been good for me. I needed this. All right, now as far as the house, someone recently reminded me that I really haven't done a proper starting point, a before, showing you exactly what we're starting with here, showing you the house. Okay, I thought, well, that, is right. And that's important. It's important for several reasons. Okay, I've talked about the importance of skills and doing stuff ourselves. Well, it don't always turn out better when we do stuff ourselves. If we put in the work, it will, but it's just going to take time and work. I'm not a professional at this, and that's what I'm talking about for those of us that are not professionals. But I need to show what we're starting with so that when I get done, we'll all know, including myself, if I actually accomplished anything. Okay, and I'm also doing this on a budget. Well, sometimes doing stuff on a budget causes you to take shortcuts that actually end up costing you. Okay, well, sometimes it forces you to be more creative, and you actually end up doing things better than they would have been had you not been on a budget. We'll find out in the after, but I got to do a before first and show you what we're starting with exactly. Okay, and something to keep in mind here while I'm showing you around the place and talking about things I'm planning to do with it, are the things I'm actually working on right now. I want to work really hard to be more self-sufficient. I don't even know if that's what you'd call it. It isn't that I want to be more self-sufficient. I want to be capable of being more self-sufficient. It's a good way to put it, right there. Okay, I love my modern conveniences and comforts. I do, or most of us do. At the same time, there's so much uncertainty right now that I feel like it's really good idea to be prepared for a lot of changes. Okay, so good example, natural gas. Well, at one time that was a very safe heating source. As far as when I say safe, I mean in using it, it's always going to be safe, but as far as being able to afford it, okay, it being readily available and cheap. Well, that's not necessarily going to be the case in the future. All right, we've already got New York. They've come out with some new law or whatever. They're trying to get rid of gas stoves. Biden administration, they're trying to get rid of gas stoves. Okay, well, enough states like that go getting rid of gas stoves, and they're working hard to keep people from using natural gas. Well, that's going to drive the price of natural gas up. All right, I'm sure it's going to be available in a lot of states. The communist states it might not be, because why? Who knows? But for the rest of it, it's probably going to be available, but with decreased demand for it, there's not going to be as much production. The prices are going to be volatile, I'm guessing. Okay, so planning out what I'm going to do here. This is the kitchen. I'm going with the gas stove. Okay, I'll explain later why. I got a lot of reasons for that for this house, but okay, so it's a great source. Even when the power goes out, you still get gas. But at the same time, I need a backup, okay, because of everything I just said. So definitely want a wood stove in the house also, or a wood heater that I can also cook on. Okay, so the things I'm thinking of going forward with the house, and that's part of the design and thinking about the layout and so forth. Okay, for instance, I need a pantry. I want a pantry. Okay, well, there's no use in having a garden. Let me rephrase that. There's a lot of uses for a garden, even if you're not going to store anything. And that's kind of what I've been doing for the last few years, is doing a garden and just eating what little bit I get as it comes. I wasn't planting a lot. All right, so I didn't have a large crop to have to try to figure out how to store this. Okay, well, And going forward, next year, I want to expand the garden, especially here at the new place. All right, well, I need places to store the food. If I'm going to can food, then I need places to put the canned goods. All right, if I'm going to have sweet potatoes and potatoes that I'm going to store for the winter, I need places to store them. Okay, I need a pantry. All right, well, that's something I need to be planning now while I'm doing the rebuild here. Okay, so anyway, just as we're going through this, scratch your head. What are some ideas you think, okay, hey, Tom, you might want to consider this? Because, you know, I obviously haven't thought of everything, as you're about to see as I talk about what I'm planning here, but so yeah, I'd be really curious to hear your thoughts on this. And keep in mind, I'm also thinking about reliability. Okay, and we all think about that, but I mean, another great example, another heating source, propane. Propane's a great heating source, depending on where you are in your situation. Okay, but is it going to be available here in the future? I mean, if they're already going after natural gas, the prices are likely to go a lot higher. What's propane going to do? Okay, so is that going to be dependable going forward? Whereas wood stove, hey, I got plenty of trees, that one's going to be dependable. And there's nothing to break there. All right, same way with a freezer versus canning. Okay, electricity goes out, your freezer's done until it comes back on. Whereas canning, that's very dependable way to store your food. You don't have to worry about the electricity and that sort of thing. Anyway, just some stuff I'm really scratching my head on here. So let's go see what we got, and we're going to start on the inside. Starting here in the living room. Okay, to my left here, we've got the front door. We've got double windows in the front, single window on the end that you can see right behind me. And on the other wall, we've got a chimney. It's just a vent chimney. And that's pretty much it for the living room. As a matter of fact, we've got the sawhorses set up now, and this has become a work area. Also, on the front side of the house, this is the front bedroom, and the camera that you're looking at me on right now, okay, it is sitting in the living room where I just was. Okay, and you can see with the front bedroom here, this is also turned into storage, but it's tool storage right now as we're working on the place. And this section right here, this is going to be the hallway for the new addition. So I'm going to build onto the end of the house here, and then that wall right there, that's going to be the hall going into the new addition. That window is going to be gone. And here we've got the back bedroom. Okay, so really simple and straightforward. We've got that window right there is going to be gone because there's going to be a room on the other side of it. This one will stay, and the section I'm standing in right now, this is going to be turned into a closet for this room. And the entryway for it's actually going to be right here to my side, which the camera's still in the same spot that you're looking at me on now. Okay, where I just showed the hallway is going to be, entrance for this room is going to be right there. And this is the kitchen. This is where we've been spending most of our time working here lately. And it's going to be a pretty nice kitchen, I think. All right, we've got the double windows here. Sink's going to go right in front of it. Stove's probably going to go right here on the right. Refrigerator right here on the left, and cabinets wrapping around. We'll have a pantry on the back, and right where this window is, I'm putting French doors in there. Okay, so this is actually going to be a pretty good sized kitchen. I think it's going to be really nice, especially for the things I was talking about, like preserving foods and so forth, canning, that type of stuff. A kitchen's a work area. It's a gathering place. It's where everybody comes together, but it's also a work area. And I want to keep that in mind with the kitchen here. And something I thought was really interesting on this house, okay, right here, we've got the same vent chimney that I showed from the living room. All right, so same chimney, second vent right here. Okay, this vent was for the actual wood stove that was in here at one time. When we took out the flooring, we've replaced almost all of the flooring. We're putting the subflooring back in now. And we've put in new joists and beefed up a lot of work here on the floor joists and all that good stuff, the structural stuff. All right, so it's solid now, and I do mean solid. I'm right proud of what we got here. All right, but when we took up the original flooring, there was a hole in the floor here for a pipe. Okay, well, that pipe was for the wood stove that vented out that chimney. That wood stove had a water jacket on the side. That was how they heated the hot water for the house. And this was the Hughes place. My daddy was telling me Mrs. Hughes, she was proud of her wood stove way back when. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And as far as what I said about dependable, that was dependable. Have you ever heard of a wood stove breaking? Okay, when it comes to a wood stove, the only questionable part there is us, because we do break. And I'd hate to be in here in my 70s trying to split wood and, hey, it might be the greatest thing ever for me, having to bust wood and keep wood on hand and so forth, but I sure hate the thought of it. Anyway, continuing on. Okay, this is the porch, back porch. Well, it was enclosed, which you can see it's wide open right now. All right, so there were windows here, and all right, there's the camera there that you're watching me on. That was the back door. Okay, well, what I'm planning on doing is tearing all of this off and raising the ceiling up. This is a lean-to ceiling for a porch, but it's too low. All right, so we're gonna tie in higher up in the roof line to get the ceiling up, and then I'm gonna put a door right here that's gonna be the main door. We're gonna park right outside of here, so that's gonna be the main door we use, side door. Okay, and washer and dryer is going to go here, which that's where they were originally. So that's going to be sort of a washroom. Mud room right here, basically. Think of it that way. And then I'm going to put a partition wall, a small one, somewhere in between. And then the rest of this is going to be a pantry. Now you can see that porch from the outside. So yeah, a little rough. We got some work to do. We're on it though. Okay, and as far as the front of the house, you can see from this clip, it's just a simple, basic white 4-room farmhouse, shotgun style house. Okay, so this is where we're starting. And the reason I really needed to go ahead and do this video of the before, again, so I can go back and look at it and see how it turned out, see if I made any progress for myself, but a lot of things are fixing to start happening now, and there's not gonna be any going back once things do start happening to see, okay, well, what did it look like before? There's going to be a lot of changes quickly, starting right here on the side. And this is where the addition's going. And this is roughly going to double the size of the house. So last week, my daddy took the tractor, he pulled dirt down out here, and then I went and marked everything out, put out the stakes, and we got a guy coming in this coming week with a backhoe, and then he's going to dig out everything for the footings. So yeah, things are about to start happening here. And that's why I really needed to go ahead and get this before in, just so we can see where we're starting from. One thing that has already changed is there was a wall here. All right, so if you look at this older clip of me inside the house here, you can see the wall studs. Well, all that's gone now. And where this window is, okay, that was originally the bathroom right there. Getting rid of it. With the addition, I'm going to have a master bath there, and then we're going to have a half bath in the front bedroom. The rest of the front bedroom will be office area. But okay, getting rid of that really opened up the kitchen area, gave us a lot more space, and I love a big kitchen. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to see just how it looks. Okay, I had my picture in my mind of what I wanted it to look like, what I hoped it would look like, and now it's just exciting to see, okay, it actually does look really good. Okay, that's motivation for me, progress, just seeing that come together. Okay, but and back to what I was talking about choices. Okay, well, This isn't really a load-bearing wall above me. It's supporting the ceiling joists, but that's it. There's no load from the roof on it, but it's still sort of a load-bearing wall, and I've got to put a beam across here. Okay, well, I can get really creative on the woodworking end as far as the beam and, you know, what do I want that to look like exactly. So that's the decisions part, and whatever I decide, I'm probably going to have to live with that one. So anyway, that's just what I was talking about, you know, choices. That's both the fun of it, that's the exciting part of it, and that's also the part that'll wear you down. Because at some point you got to make a final decision and go with it and live with it. All right, now I'm going to the house and I'm going to go get some beans and cornbread and kick back because I'm exhausted. God bless and have a great evening.